Very good evening and welcome back to your own channel Bal Vigyan Bharati with Avilas Sarkar. Now, as you know, we have already completed the problem solving session on time, speed, and distance. Now, as I promised, that I will start a new chapter, that is time and work. This is also a subject belong to mathematics, and this is also this time being demanded by one of the guardian for the students, for the kids and the students. So on that demand, I'll start this chapter. And as this chapter is new for everyone, I am not discussed it. So I will start with the theory part. Their theory part is not much, so I can finish it up within few minutes, and so then after I'll move on to the problem solving session. So on that, I will put this heading as time and work. Now, prior to start, I have to I have to confess some, or I can update some. You can say the update some. You can say the concept or knowledge on this work, as especially is not the work we have learned in our kinematic in force, work, and power section. That work we learn here is different from the work. Basically, work we know is the force multiplied by the displacement in physics. That in kinematics we have learned it, that work is nothing but force, rather not kinematics, rather kinetics. Force is work done is work or work done is the force into displacement. But here work is not meant as the work we learned in physics. Rather, work is a entity. Work is an entity which represent a task. That means any task will be considered as a work in this segment, time and work. But we will consider this subject in mathematics, time and work. Their work is the entity, or the, you can say, the subject which will represent by a task. Task may be anything. That means building a house is a task. Okay. Or building or you can say laying road is a task. So all this case will be considered as work if it is not even defined similar ways as I am defining. For example, I am defining this, but as a whole, if something is said to be a work done by someone in some time, so that work will be the work as a whole, as a task. Okay, so this could be anything, and this work doesn't have its own unit. This work in time and work doesn't have its own unit. Why I am saying that any task, that means a entity, just like I have given an example, building a house. So building a house, you cannot give a unit to that. You can quantify one number of house, two number of house, three number of house, that way, or 1 kilometer road, 2 kilometer, like that. But it doesn't have a specific unit to be represented. So how will it be represented? The term rate of work. So rate of work is a term that will all combine the thing together with which we will work further in this segment. So what is that? This consisted of the total work upon the total time will give you the rate of work. So that means, in nutshell, you can say the work done, work per unit time. This can be represented in this way also. Work per unit time is because total work, if it is divided by the total time taken to complete that work, if it is representing the rate of work, that rate of work is other way can be represented as work per unit time. For example, a house is built in 10 days. So a house building is a task, that is a complete work. So the rate of work is 1 upon 10. This is the case for this. This is the calculation. Why I have taken 1? Any task, a complete task is always taken as 1. Remember this. In this, the concept is such that any work has to be considered to be a complete work. So any complete work is equal to 1. So any complete work, either it is a building one house or building a colony, building a 10-kilometer road or building a 1-kilometer road, if it is said for that part that such job needs this much time with this and being done with this much of manpower, so the task itself is a complete, we will consider. Okay, even if it is not divided into segments, just like if I say a colony, there is 100 houses and one house is being made in that time. So there we are segmenting the total work into 100 parts. But as a whole, 100 houses building or building a colony which consists of 100 houses. So building a colony is a complete task. There we are segregating the part into equal 100 parts. So this way, but ultimately the total work, whatever the bigger unit we will consider, will be considered as a one complete work. Understood? So the rate of work is nothing but the total work by total time. This can also be said as a work per unit time. Okay, and the complete work will always take 1. With this concept, we'll move further. So as rate of work is the total work by total time, so we can say the work, I will not say the total work, I will say simply work is equal to rate of work into time, you can say. So this is my primary equation on which we will work. So as I said, that work, a complete work is equal to 1. So this equation can turn is equal to 1 is equal to rate of work into time. This can also be said as rate of work is equal to 1 upon time. You can see how the equation is changing. Initially work, I have defined rate of work is equal to work upon time. That means we will consider total work by total time, and total work is nothing but 1 in this part. Total, the complete work, whatever it is complete work is 1. So 1 is equal to rate of work into time. So rate of work is equal to 1 upon time, or vice versa, time is equal to 1 upon rate of work. Okay, now this rate of work also termed as efficiency. How? Logically, if I say rate of work is what? A person is doing a work in 10 days, another person doing the same work in 20 days. Whose efficiency is more? Definitely the person who is taking lesser time has efficiency more. So this is what? This is time. This is rate of work. Rate of work. So rate of work is equal to 1 upon 100. 1 is for the complete work upon 100. So rate of work is the work on the other way can said to be the efficiency of the person, because the person is taking lesser time, and this also said to be the work per unit time. So if I do the complete work, if I say the complete work is 1 and dividing the time that will take to complete that complete work is the work per unit time, which is equal to the rate of work, and work per unit time is the, if it is denote for the first case it having higher efficiency, we say for the second case is lower efficiency. So the efficiency can be represented with their rate of work. That means efficiency can be said equivalent to the rate of work. It is same meaning wise. Efficiency is nothing but the rate of doing work. The person is more efficient if he is doing the rate of work is high. Okay, so this can be represented as efficiency upon time. So this can also be said that efficiency is equal to 1 upon time. So that means efficiency and time are inversely proportional. As this is 1 upon time, so anything which is 1 upon time can be said inversely, where there is no constant because there is 1. So there is no constant. So this by 1 or proportionate will be the same meaning. So efficiency is inversely proportional, because inversely means directly means that will come on the numerator as it is in denominator. So efficiency and time are inversely proportional. So this can also be said that time is inversely proportional to the efficiency. This is also true. So these are the basic relation among efficiency, rate of work, time and all that. Now there are few character, you can say, which will involve in this. Wow, how that the time can be represented in hours, days, or the lesser unit being second, minute, hours and days. So finally, if I say the time is denoted such a way that a day is a day, within this day there are 24 hours. So people may work not for whole day, they may work for some part of the day. So this can be said the person is working 10 hours per day for a work. Okay, so when the person is working for 10 days to complete the job, let's say the complete job 1, so what is the time, how will you calculate the time? So for time is equal to 10 hours into 10 days, that means we will convert into a single unit, that is equal to hours. So you cannot go with both the units together, it will be very clumsy. Rather, if we convert into the smaller unit, the total time taken to complete the job person is 1, so that will reduce your variables. Day and hour all together will move into only the hour. So these are the concept I'm saying. During doing job, during solving the problem, this will be needful. So you can understand, if it is given second, minute, hour and day all are involved. So your tasks for time, you have to reduce the number of variable to the lowest or maybe the intermediate sum unit. So, but at least you have to convert all those variables into one unit so that your task will be easier. Okay, this is one concept. Now, so I'm just giving you an example. There are M1 person doing or say M1 person working for D1 days and complete a work in W1. M1 person working for D1 days and per day working for H1 hours, completing W1 job. Okay, this is the task they are doing. And M2 person doing for H1, H2 per day and working for D2 days, performing a job of size W2. This is, I'm saying, the job size. That could be, if we say this is the complete job W, then you can say this is one job, but I'm saying the W job. How it can be distinguished from the earlier? Let's say as one colony consists of 100 quarters. Okay, out of this 25 is made by this team. Okay, so the W can be sized. Now if we convert it into fraction, or that is the 1/4 of the job. The complete job is 1, so this is the 1/4 of the job. So you can size the quantity also, that in turn if we use in the equation, that will anyhow will convert it into the fraction. Okay, so now in this case the consideration is that if the efficiency of the persons are same, all the persons working efficiency is same. So how will you manage an equation out of this situation? Because both are different team, both are doing different job, working for different days and hours. So what is the correlation? Correlation, only the efficiency is same. So in that case, the time will be calculated. First H1 hours for D1 days, this is the time, and when you will multiply with the man, so that will give you the total engagement time. How? That this is for what? H1 hours for D1 days for one person. He is contributing this much time. When the number of person become M1, so number of hours engagement is this one. In this time they are doing W1 job. So what is their efficiency? Rate of job W1 by this. And if for second case the efficiency has to be same, so this will be your equation. Fine. So if you reverse it, it is up to your choice. So relation is that if it is the case, and if efficiency of all the person assumed to be same, if it is not even said, so you have to assume that the person who are working there are having same efficiency. Some of the perception or the concept you have to adopt his own. Okay, there is no other relation that can be established other than this. Okay, otherwise these are a different job, there is no correlation, because when the persons are working for the same part of job, so their efficiency has to be assumed to be same. These are the some peculiar, you can say, the perception or the concept has to be taken untold. Okay, taken as if it is not even said in the context. Okay, so this is one case. Other case I have already told. And as I said, the efficiency or you can say rate of work or efficiency, I will put it in bracket, is equal to 1 upon time. So if rate of work is of 2% is x is to y, if in case the rate of work is x is to y, so their time ratio will be what? Y is to x. Why it is so? Because these are inversely proportional. From there, the rate of work, if it is x for the first case, will be equal to 1 upon t1, you can say. For y is equal to 1 upon t2. So if I divide this, the x is to y, the x by y is equal to t2 by t1. So that means x is to y is equal to the t2 by t2, t2 by t1, t2 is to t1. So what is the time? If I take the reverse one, means I have to calculate the t1 is to t2. What is the relative time? So relative time will be y is to x, the reverse. So if the rate of task is x is to y, your time ratio will be y is to x. So that will be proved. Okay. So this is some specific condition. Okay. So there are no much theory part that I need to be discussed. So whatever it will come during the problem solving session, one by one during problem solving, I will describe it. If in case whatever I said here, if it is not covering that, so during problem solving session I will explain those. Then after I will complete the problem. And by the way, the concept also will grow, because all concept is not cannot be said in theory directly. Some concept you have to accept or develop during problem solving. So that is my means request. So please follow all the questions that I will solve. There may be so many concepts you will come to understand during problem solving, not in the theory part. Okay, so better follow all these questions that I will solve, and definitely you will get a complete idea on this subjects, time and work. Okay, so basic difference you understood. This work is not the work that we taught in the physics class. The work is equal to force into distance. That is not the way. This is the task. A complete task is an entity that cannot be defined in units. Okay, so these are and efficiency is not that efficiency output by input, that way you can represent. So this efficiency, the work done per unit time. So these are completely different from the physics concepts. Okay, so main distinguished part I have already taught, and further in the course of time of problem solving session, I will explain all those concepts that would be needed to understand these subjects better. Okay, thank you for now. Good night.